In 2014, we at LinuxGameCast plan on
being less conservative.
And not holding back.
holding back.
I said
You fucking said hop.
But
All right.
alright, let's try that again. Rainbow monkey tits!
Third at it. In 2014, we at LinuxGameCast plan on
Being less conservative.
Not holding back.
and just being ourselves. Coming up on Linux Gamecast Weekly, did Valve load test on Xmas? ZAD Alpha 15 brings the moonspeak. We get some wine in our Steam, and PCGamer.com learns about total conversions. Then we throw the chairs at Dust and Elysian Tail. All this, plus our 2014 predictions. Let's go. And welcome back to another Linux Gamecast Weekly, the show that covers the latest Linux gaming news, reviews, how-tos, and most importantly, whatever the hell else we come up with. This week, no exception, Half-Life 3 does its first load test over at Valve. We get some wine in our Steam, tastes kinda funny, and the Dark Mod is the best total conversion of the year. We're going to talk about that a bit later, and we're going to throw some chairs at a ferry simulator that was surprisingly fun. But I'm Vin Stone, running the board here at LGC Actual in Athens, and joining me every week, my inimitable co-host, my partner in crime, the man who proves Canadians are truly capable of rage and hate.
Grrr.
Terrifying, petrifying, and stupefying Massasfang himself, and all the way from Portugal over the seas. Look at him,
Hello.
with the Pokemon in the background, with the Sega in the background. That's Pedro Maes.
When it comes to games, I don't discriminate.
Brilliant. So before we get going, let's see what's been going on with each other, and I'm going to start with me. I watched the new... Me. Horbitsies. Long film is long, but not noticeably long until you realize how long you've been watching it. And really kept up the pace. I'm fully with J-Man with saying Legolas was kind of like, oh, are you in this? Didn't really contribute anything. And I really want to see a dwarf, elf, hybrid, baby liger thingy. Outside
They call
of
that Paris Hilton.
Hot. So what have you been up to, J-Man?
Oh, well, I got hit by the ice storm. You know, Snowpocalypse 2013. Lost power for about 3 days. That was fun. Internet withdrawal notwithstanding. Also had tried to pick up the Christmas time Call of Cthulhu game me and my group usually play, involving Walter White traveling back in time to Dickensian England to fight the Krampus, but that fell through. So, yeah, that was my week.
P-Man, I heard Portugal has been introduced to 720p.
Yeah. But before we get to that, I spent Christmas Eve and Christmas Day in bed, coughing my lungs out and tripping some serious fever-induced balls because apparently my horse sense arcades is back. But by Thursday, I managed to regain some manner of consciousness and I ordered a new phone. It's a Gioni eLife E3. Yeah, it's really crappy name, but it's pretty good. It's got a Cortex A7, 1.2 gigahertz quad core. It's only got 1 gig of RAM, but it does have a 720p display, which looks amazing. For a 4-inch screen, it looks pretty damn good.
Well, that's decent. So, J-Man, you feeling a little sexy? Maybe you might
I'm just fully sexually
Might need to put on those
actualized. And you can
reading
see that all
glasses
at
for this.
linuxgamecast.com/podcast, where we have a lovely stalking guide. We got the RSS feeds, SD video, HD video, and SD audio. We also have handy dandy, like fine candy, Amazon affiliate links. You can click on that, give us some microtransaction goodness. We also have donato buttons if you want to give us wet stinky cash, just like Eric Tsingos, who gave us $30 this week. You should all be like him and give us $30, because all the proceeds go into the show, buying games to review, hardware upgrades for Mexicans, all that good stuff. You can click on those buttons and figure that out. They're fairly self-explanatory. We also have our forum, Chat Realms, statically linked. You can go to that, join us where we are the other 6 days of the week. You can sign in with any account, Google, Twitter, Facebook, OpenID, all that good stuff. So check that out.
really should
Silly
add the
cats
MySpace
and,
option. I hear
silly
that's
cards
a
and
thing.
funny hats.
Mhm.
And shit you add up over time is top topic so far. Let's see what that has to do with whatever. I don't know. Go find out. Go to our forums. Chat Realm statically linked. We also have youtube.com/LinuxGameCast, where we have all our videos still here after copyright apocalypse. Still going
Cockpocalypse.
strong. We got LGC Weekly reviews, how-tos, B-reels, Android how-tos, all sorts of good stuff.
Got a new
And
playlist from
apparently
last week.
no footage of Zigfrack. Then
Plenty of
Uh,
it. It's all over the place.
I
can't wait to show you that.
We also have a Facebook page run by Mexicans. We pay them
Because
pennies
why
an
not?
hour, and they give us this. It's not very pretty, but if you're on the Facebook,
Hey,
you can
already
go
have 92
us
likes.
a like.
92 whole likes.
Woo! It's catching up to nothing. We also have reddit.com/r/Linux_gaming. Lots of good gaming, Linux news and interviews and how-tos and questions and whatnot. Check that out. We pull stuff from this subreddit for the show every week. So if you post stuff and it goes to the front page, you might end up with your link on the show. But I guess we don't have a public safety announcement this week. So I guess it's time. We've ripped the jingle bells off it. We've shoved it back under the porch. It's our Steam
Linux
Update
of the week.
Now, Ben, this is some clickbaity stuff you have in the show notes here. Why don't you elaborate on that?
When I first saw this, now what we're talking about, this comes from The Verge. This is, as you might have known, over the Xmas, Left 4 Dead 2 went free for a day, correct?
Yes, it did.
And
For those of you who don't already own it.
the only thing I was thinking this entire time, I was like, So, this is our first load test to see how Steam is going to be able to handle the rollout of Half-Life 3. Just my thoughts, P-Man.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. And if that's the case, their current hardware failed the test. Because Steam has been slow as balls over the past 2 weeks.
Unfortunately, he normally talks like that. It's a bitch in post to speak.
I know we have to give him quite a bit of cocaine to get him to talk at a normal rate.
You got any thoughts on this?
It's certainly an assumption. I know Valve. I don't know. I think they just want to get more people playing Left 4 Dead 2 because why not? It is a big multiplayer title that they have. I don't know. It seems a bit suspect to say that this is a load test for Half-Life 3.
I don't know. It was just my first thought because Chat Realm. By the way, hello Chat Realm, tuning in live.
Chat
If you're
Realm, our
watching us
favorite
live.
part of LGC, the audience.
They are the cock, and we're the balls. But
And Pedro's the taint.
bonus taint. I was always thinking, I think Free Jacko, they might have pointed out, everyone already had Left 4 Dead 2. It's already been on sale for naught, basically,
Yeah.
But I can't believe that many people, which I was astonished because I was on, the Google Pluses, and people were like, oh, I can't get in. What do I do, Vid? And I was like, oh, fuck me. Let me call Gabe right quick. Wait, hang on. Gabe,
You do
come
have
in
that
here
red
for a
phone,
moment.
but I'm not sure if that goes to the Kremlin or to Gabe's house.
Yeah. We don't need another rehash.
The Kremlin incident.
So that was a thing, but bring the pain.
We have some pain and some killers, if you're into that type of thing. No, this is Painkiller Hell and Damnation. Just got a nice Linux update. They finally fixed their AMD support, so now you can actually play with the open source drivers, like yours truly right here, because the calculator can handle Painkiller HD with everything set it to around medium. Some nice 30 frames ish per second.
Hey, Pedro,
Good on that.
Wait, how long does it take to load?
Wait, Pedro. Before we get to that, do you ever still play Quake 3 Arena every now and then?
Every now and then, yeah.
You know how you can cut everything on high and just like fling around aimlessly and everything's like 120 frames a second?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like on a 770.
Sweet.
Looks pretty decent
yeah.
on a 672.
Yeah.
And like Jordan hinted at, it still takes a while to run.
I
load.
clocked it today. I re-downloaded it today, and if you're not familiar with Painkiller Hell and Damnation, it's Serious Sam and Hell. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing against that. But due to some shader issues, it takes, on an octa-core system, almost exactly 4 minutes to load.
Yeah,
That
it
sounds
takes
about right.
And I was talking to J-Man earlier, and P-Man as well. I was like, this is a game I want to sit down, play one level of constantly, for 10 minutes, and I'm done with it.
Stand on a step ladder, shoot enemies because they don't climb up ladders.
Brilliant. But 3 minutes, 4 minutes, you're like, oh, that 3-4 minutes in front of a computer waiting is
Kind of a buzzkill. Brings you from about half mast down to soft.
So I'm glad they updated it and it's working with the open source drivers.
They also fixed some light shaft giggity artifacts with the NVIDIA proprietary drivers, and you can now play with your Windows friends, all the Winbros, on their servers because
I
both
don't
networks
get why
are
this is
compatible.
actually a feature, though. I mean,
I don't understand why it was actually a
you code
problem.
your server software right. It shouldn't matter.
Right. See, we're
whether
thinking.
you're
Yeah.
Right.
It's the
Windows
Unreal
or
Engine
Linux
3,
or
man.
OS 10
Come
or-
on.
I don't know. That's just bizarre.
Yeah.
So let's talk about our favorite Argentinian. Or
Oh, yes.
Brazilian.
Gustavo
Whatever the hell he is.
reports that Sid the Dummy. No, it looks like there's some sort of crossovery nonsense going on in this game.
He's got a little thing. He's like, oh, yes, they really worked hard to quote-unquote port this game for Linux. And he has a little screenshot of the crossover preparing Sid the Dummy bottle, which is preparing a wine bottle. And then I kind of screeched over to Sid the Dummy in the forums, and
I like the developer here who's like, what's the difference? It works fine.
this is exactly what he said. What's the difference? It runs the same way, ? Many titles, including big titles, uses wrappers. The game experience
big
do
titles
not change.
such as
Well, and keep in mind, the price is only 1,99 ... no space, less than a coffee. But of course me, I had to chime in. Many titles, including big title. Oh, do they? ? That is a rhetorical question because there's none. Pedro, how much does coffee cost in Portugal?
60 cents. So for this game, yeah, I could buy 3 coffees for the price of this game, and this game isn't better than 3 coffees.
you should actually go drink 3 cups of coffee and then maybe try and bring that up to 100 cups of coffee. Because
then you piss in the cup and send it to the developer. All I can say about it.
Or you just go super fast and well, mind you, I live in a universe where I believe Futurama is actually what happens in real life.
Brilliant. All I have to say about this is when it comes to wine in Steam, vote with your wallets.
Pretty much. I mean, we don't have to go over why you should not use wine to quote unquote port your game for Linux.
Well, the thing that really made me sad was, instead of spending the money to get Flibbity-jibbity or Ryan C to do it. They gave it to Crossover, and Crossover's like, we got another one.
Okay.
Yep.
And I was like, we'll port it for you. Click there. Right.
Oh, look, it's in a folder now. It's ported.
Now give us money. But P-Man was all excited. He was like, oh, well, maybe they'll do the Bethesda and all that. But, you know, honestly,
no, I
at the end
wasn't
of the
excited.
day and take a shot, if I want to play Skyrim, I'll load it with Play on Linux and play it.
On
Yeah.
Linux.
It wasn't that I was excited. It's basically at this point I'm just jaded against Bethesda and their Linux hate, because it's pretty clear right now that they don't want anything to do with Linux. So yeah, I wonder how long it will
once
take
we
them.
get some commodity Steam box hardware, they're probably going to change their tune a bit.
Maybe we'll have to wait and see.
Maybe.
But I wonder how long
We
it will
shall.
take.
Next
Apparently, Valve is trying to get AMD to fix their shit.
Yeah, from Mucketware.
Oh, yeah. Good luck with that.
Oops.
No, this comes from Mucktware, and they report that Valve is trying to get AMD to fix driver issues for SteamOS. And they have that screenshot up there, and you can see in the video memory, you see 1.2 gigabytes of memory. Now, if you have an AMD card, either with the open source or the proprietary drivers, you see a 0.0, sometimes a negative 0.0.
I love having negative RAM in my system. It just speeds things up.
I know, and that was stopping people from playing games. So imagine you have like an high-end AMD card, like a 7990, or one of the new ones, the R,
or maybe one of those iBuyPower Steam boxes.
Yeah. So if you have one of those, you wouldn't be able to play games on SteamOS because, well, it assumed that you had no video memory. That's what they're trying to fix. And now I ask, why just that? Why not everything else? Those drivers suck.
Pedro. Because reasons.
Well, Valve has released a statement apologizing for the issue. There are outstanding interaction problems between the recent Catalyst drivers and SteamOS. AMD is aware of the issue and investigating. We apologize for the inconvenience and hope to get this...
Yeah, AMD's going to get on that, fixing all the other broken shit with their drivers that they've never bothered to fix.
Yeah, AMD, ATI. Right on top of Linux.
They'll release those fixes just about the time that Half-Life 3 comes out.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So, what's this, J-Man?
So, this is a cool little thing I came across on Linux_gaming. Basically, they want you to do something kind of nifty with SteamOS or with a Steam box. See what you can do with it, and they'll give away some gift cards.
Somebody has nothing to do with Steam, nothing to do with Valve, just random.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Random thing. But I mean, one of the advantages of having an open source gaming operating system is that people can do crazy shit with it. So.
Well, no, they actually want you to hack your Steam box, your real one that you got, one of the 300.
Oh yeah. Or you can build one. They also have. It says 45 days to make something awesome based around SteamOS or the Steam machine.
Yeah.
Hey, Ben, I think you could win one. I mean, the first thing right there is hack Twitch streaming into SteamOS. You could win this.
That'd be a piece of cake.
Yeah, I mean, really, the reason I brought this up was because it seems like a good idea. Try and get some of the community involved with hacking SteamOS. And get some good shit out there. I mean, that's the one advantage to having an open source operating system is that if it doesn't work the way you like, you can change what's wrong with it.
The only issue I have is, I mean, they got to offer better prizes than like a third-rate Linux gaming show.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, our prizes do kind of rock.
Compared to those, yeah. A Dota 2 beta invite? Really?
According to the Reddit thread, that was just kept in as a joke.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes, I'm sure.
There's that. If you're interested, check it out. Might be worth your time. Might be cool to see what comes out of it, if anything.
Well, yar,
but,
bitches.
Yar! It's time for some piracy.
Yes, pixel piracy.
Don't copy that floppy.
Joe, that floppy.
P-Man.
Have you seen the intro
Yes.
video to Windows 95 with Matthew
Yes.
Perry and Jennifer Aniston?
I've seen that cringe fest. P-Man, tell us about pixel piracy.
This is, well, like the name indicates, a hippie pixel pirate jacking simulator. Probably the best one you'll play all year, because as far as I remember, there wasn't any other ones.
Probably.
So, yeah, it can be yours for, on my end, it says €13.99. How about yours, Vin?
It's $14.99 wet stinky American dollars, but look at the pixel piracy videos can be monetized
American
anywhere.
Scum dollars, man. American scum dollars.
They're actually perpetuating the Google cock-up with the YouTube Content ID. Good on
Can be
them.
monetized anywhere. Good on them, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
And apparently the
But
website's located in
kinda
Middle
looks like-
Earth. All right, here it comes up.
It kind of looks a bit like Terraria or FTL at sea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does have a bit of a Terraria, not so much, but King Arthur's Gold.
What's the game about, P-Man? Never heard of it.
It's basically you have a ship with a crew, and you have to hijack other people's ships. It's not technically other people's, it's just NPCs. But yeah, it's got the same roguelike-ish elements than FTL. But it plays similar to the naval maps in King Arthur's Gold.
But can you slaughter the women and rape them in?
No.
Can you slaughter their men and rape their dogs?
I think that you can, but don't hold me to that.
I think you can do that in Divinity Dragon Commander after you prostitute your skeleton vampire wife.
It's
But
probably an
anyways.
upcoming mod for 2014, but that's pixel piracy, $14.99 if you're into the hipster pixel
Yep.
graphic-y, parody.
And- Pedro, it looks like your quest for a good Linux RPG still isn't at an end.
Oh.
Despite
Yeah.
Talk about some
Man,
hopeful fail
trying.
sauce, man. I mean, this P-Man doesn't quit. I mean, he's right here in the
No,
notes, and
no.
he's like, hope, yes.
come on,
That-
man.
that
Hold
was
out
the
for
first thing.
torment,
As soon as
and
I saw
then
this pop up on
everything will be
Linux
good.
underscore gaming, I'm like, finally, this is Linux RPG.
Well, you
Maybe,
know,
please, come on.
We're looking at like some of the screen, and I was like looking at that, and I was like, okay, it's like a sub-average Unity game. Then I get to like some of the combat areas, and I was like, what the balls is this, man?
if you look at the YouTube trailer that Pedro posted, and they zoom into one of the player models up close, and it looks like PS1 quality graphics. It's awesome.
Yeah, it looks like the first Silent Hill. They took the models from the first Silent Hill and just put it in the game. But it's actually a
look
jarring
at the Metacritic
contrast.
score for this thing. It's like
Probably-
10 or something.
Yeah. Blade of Destiny, not to be confused with the Pick of Destiny.
Or the
It's
Bong
Realms
Destiny.
of Arcania. Blade of
So
Destiny.
it's a legend reborn as Realms of Arcania. Blades of Destiny returns, developed by Austrian developer Crafty Studios, who wants to pump you up. So this is a faithful remake of the 1992 original, adored by fan role players and most successful RPGs of the 1990s. D&D.
But the other thing I like is in their trailer they have tactical gameplay precision, and you get the conga line of death that any D&D player knows.
Tactical game player precision
people lining
is
up trying to get a
basically saying we
bonus.
got the fucking mouse working.
Yeah, you can
pretty
click on
much.
things and have people stand in a line. Look at that tactical action.
Hey. So that's available
Yeah.
right now. It's currently on sale, half off, $9.99. Wet Stinky Cash is normally $20, so
I got
you'll
that.
only hate yourself slightly less if you buy it.
I wouldn't buy that one.
Not for $1.
Yeah.
I
Unless
would not
it shows
buy
up
that
on
for
like a
$1.
flash sale or something for like $2. Yeah.
I'm not even game curious on this one.
Yeah. So I think that
Yeah.
wraps it up for our non-festive Steam Linux update of the week. Coming up next, non-Steam related news for your face.
Organs.
And we're back with the almighty, non-steamy, news. And to tell us about our first bit of news, we have Mr. Venstone himself. Take it away, Ven.
Who's Ven Stone? Don't know who that guy is. Some asshole, probably.
That's right. New ZAD Alpha 15. Osiris is out. Easy download and install. I actually hear this thing is fluent in Moonspeak, Pedro.
No?
Yes, it is. It's the only other language besides English that's 100% translated. So good on you, Portuguese translating guys. And
for the 7 people who will actually play this game in Portugal.
That's the thing, but it does also
I mean, good on them. It's just all that work and no payoff.
Yeah, well, it's GPL. It's brilliant. This includes a multiplayer lobby.
Yay!
And if you fund this game, technically it's a charity, so you can write that off.
Mm-hmm. Skirmish maps, user interface updates, back to war buttons. But if you don't know what ZAD is by now, seriously, just die in the fire. But I would like to maybe get a game going sometime. I could definitely host a server here. But the problem is it takes ever to actually get a game going.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where you need email alerts when someone's done their turn.
P-Man, are you excited about it?
Yeah, it's one of those turn-based strategy. Is it turn-based strategy or is it real-time?
RTS.
Real time. Okay, so it's not that bad. And if it's anything like they've claimed it is in the past announcements, that's sort of like the old days of Age of Empires, then yeah. I will definitely take it for a spin as soon as I can.
It's fantastic. It's just amazing where this has come from Genesis, and just glad to see
I know.
it.
If you go back and watch some of the old trailers, you might hear familiar sounds.
It's available for Linux and to lesser operating systems. But Urban Galaxy.
Yep. This is Urban Galaxy. If you don't know what it is, we don't blame you. I had no idea what the hell it was either.
They sent me an invite to this alpha like a year ago.
Yeah. So they say, greetings to everyone. Today is a great day for Urban Galaxy. The long-awaited open beta has been released after quite some time. We decided to keep our cards hidden for the last months, and we apologize for being silent in order to make a great launch. They have an important notice about the changes since the last public alpha being tremendous, and it is quite a big changelog. They did brand new website. That's good. New gangs, daily achievements, boss challenges. They also have some new features like Company Wars PvP and Team versus Team PvP. Some raids.
It all sounds kind of neat until you realize what makes it a bit awesome is it's WebGL. I mean, you play everything in the browser. What I just showed there on the live stream, that wasn't Flash. That was running with WebGL.
I know I think it's really cool that people are starting to realize that WebGL is actually decent in terms of performance, and you can make cross-platform games just by aiming for the browser using WebGL and HTML5, JavaScript, all that stuff.
You know what's interesting? It's that Google Chrome, with the open source drivers, doesn't do WebGL, but Firefox, no problem.
Really, you didn't have a problem with that?
Yeah, it's Google. What the hell?
So, yeah, well, Google really only cares about, their largest available market.
Well, I'm surprised. I didn't have any problems with it on Chrome myself.
Yeah, but then
it works fine on Firefox.
Proprietary drivers, so. But Jordan, we hear you like to do things in the dark.
I do like to do many things in the dark. Amongst them all is playing the Dark mod, which is
PCGamer.com.
Yeah, it won Mod of the Year, even though it's a total conversion. But I guess it has mod in the name, so.
Hey, it has mod in the name.
Mistake.
No, this is like the.
You know what? Good on them. I mean, like we've been talking about these guys since like episode, I don't know, very very early on in LGC history. So it's nice to see that they're getting some recognition from PC Gamer.
PC Gamer, they gave it a mod. of the year, and you know, it's a floss thing. It's brilliant. It's a well. I like how Pedro tries to backtrack on this because you'll just love the show notes. Because I was like,
What?
I was like,
Hey,
hey, somebody should tell BC Gamer that it's not a mod. And Pedro's like,
It was
yeah, it
sarcasm.
says mod in the name. Yeah, and I was like,
You
yeah.
just don't get it. I put the you just don't get it in
See,
front
this
of it.
is the backtracking I just mentioned.
Watch the cartwheels.
And the mental gymnastics required. And I was like, here's the wiki page. First fucking line. The Dark Mod is a total conversion of Doom 3. And I was like, see?
Fine. Next time I'll put some
you got the Jesse
sarcasm
Pinkman
tags.
going on there.
I'll put some sarcasm tags on the whole damn thing, so there's no excuse. Okay?
Okay, I'm fine with that. J-Man, do you enjoy it? Good idea? Bad idea? It's a brilliant game.
Quite. But yes, next is, I don't know, some open source Gary's Mod type thing. Chaos-esque anthology.
theory.
Yeah.
Anthology?
I ran across this at LGDB.
It's a modification of Xenotic.
It
Yep.
is. Chaos-esque Anthology is a first-person shooter. It's a standalone modification of Zontic, which includes extended weapons, maps. All right, basically, what you're dealing with over here.
To pick up items, press F. To enter vehicles, press F. To reload, press R from their source code page. Because
Yes.
that's something. Tells you how to walk and how to jump.
If you look at it, it is basically a open source version of Gary's Mod.
Pretty much, yeah. It also uses the Dark Places engine, if you don't know Xenotic. Which, by this point, if you're using Linux, you probably should. But, yeah, it's chaos-esque theory. Can be yours for the price of free.
Cheap is free. It's pretty good.
Yep.
I'm all for free, man. I'm good on them about that. That link will be in the show notes for the Chaos-esque Anthology.
Sourceforge.net/projects/chaos.
And get ready to press F a lot for fuck.
F for fuck you.
Fuck!
Fuck! Coming up next, we review A Furry Simulator 2013. Woohoo! And we're back reviewing Dust, an Elysian Tail. It's from Noogie.com and developed by Humble Hearts. It's a one-person development team and ported by our good friend Flippity Floppity Floop, Mr. Ethan Lee. This is a combo-based hacky-slashy beat-em-up, otherwise known as Furry Simulator 2013, starring a furry samurai with possibly the worst fashion sense ever. I mean, teal. Really teal. This will run you about $7.49 on Steam. It's 50% off until January 2nd, so if you want to pick that up, you should go do that. And if you had 0.4 ounces of hack silver, you can also buy it. So, we have our crazy ass review metric based on lawn chairs. Van, why don't you show them the chair explanation?
All
right. All right. So 1 chair means that it's absolute garbage. 2 chairs means that it's meh. 3 chairs means that it's pretty good. And 4 chairs means that Pedro won't stop talking about it, even though we tell him to shut up again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And
break out of it, man.
No, yeah. I had a break in that loop. Anyways, we also have our categories, Odoo, mixed with the working, which basically tells you how well it works under Linux. And this is on Aurora, Fedora, and Ubuntu. Actually, this is Xubuntu because it has XFCE on it. I don't know what the distinction is anymore. It's kind of stupid. We also got Shiny and Sounds. How does it look? How does it sound? Controls are self-explanatory. And our final and only subjective category, fun. So why don't we kick this off? Ven, how did Dust and Elysian Tail work for you?
How did it work for me?
Oh, right, yeah, I guess it's worth mentioning. Sorry to cut you off. This is a Microsoft Studios port on Linux.
Yes.
Wrap your brain organ around that.
That was something I posted when I first saw it. I was playing the DRM free version when it first came out, and Flippity Jibbity was like, and I was like, yoink. Open it up, and it's like Microsoft Studio. I was like, Strange times, these. Yeah. But no, let's talk makes with working on a vanilla system and boom to 1204 LTS, 32-bit, 770 powered. I actually want to give this 5 chairs, but we only have 4. And the reason I say I want to give it 5 for makes with working is I originally started out with the DRM free non-Steam version, probably put about 35-40 minutes into it, and was like, yeah, well, all right, this has no business being fun. It's like, yeah, it's kind of fun. Then the Steam version finally was available, and I was like, yeah, and I had that moral decision of like, do I want to go through all this again? I just installed it and pulled it. I was like, oh yeah, here's your save game from that DRM free version that was off Steam. Well, it's there for you, man, no issue. And I was like, brilliant. So makes with working. 4 chairs. J-Man?
I was honestly surprised that a Microsoft port would be running so flawlessly under Linux. But you know what? You can still be surprised these days. 4 chairs.
On.
Mix with the working. Oh, right, yes. Forgetting that. I need to stop doing drugs. I don't do drugs. This is a Fedora 2670 powered box with crap ton of SSDs.
4 chairs.
4 chairs. 4.
P-man.
Pedro. On
And
the calculator
my
running
4-year-old
Corolla 19.
calculator running Corolla 19 32-bit with an AMD 5650 HD. No problems. None whatsoever. 4 chairs.
Well, that's exciting news. 4 chairs from Mix with the Working. Again, boggles my mind that a Microsoft port. Well, really, it's just Microsoft Studios. You need to have a publisher to publish on Xbox Live, so it kind of makes sense. Microsoft had very little to do with this. Shiny and sounds. Then, how did this game look and sound?
Well, let's take a little look at some video, shall we?
Sure, because we can't show you any gameplay footage that we've recorded.
Might be a bad idea.
Content ID.
Shiny and sounds. The game, hand-painted. It looks beautiful, minus the monsters. They really look like a lot of them. Not all of them, but the ones that you kill en masse, they really look like they're phoned in. So, nothing perfect with that. The background noise is acceptable. The voice work is pretty good, at least up until the point where Pedro spoiled it for all of us by bringing something up that I'm sure he'll get into later.
God, don't make this gay, then.
Giggity. So, to give it what it is, I'm going to give it 3 chairs. It is beautiful. I just wish some of the actual baddies had a bit more art thrown into it. A lot of them do, but some of them don't, especially with like the zombies. The teeth munchy things look alright, but the initial guys that you're offing left and right, they just stick figure looking type.
Spiky
bits.
blobs.
Yeah. So, J-Man.
For what it is, the graphics look pretty good. I mean, it's anime styled, so it's gonna look like some sort of Jap animation thing. Yeah, but the backgrounds look pretty good. The character models look pretty good. I will agree with Ben that the villains can get a bit bland and a bit poorly drawn, but that doesn't really detract too much from it. I want to ding it a chair for, oh, yes, fidgets. Fidgets. Who the fuck thought that putting a Navi in this game would be good? But I digress.
Listen.
Shut up, Pedro.
Hey,
I digress. Not enough to spoil my enjoyment of the game, so I will give this 3 chairs for Shiny and Sound.
P-Man.
Yeah, I think, that's basically it. Fidget. I get that the voice actress, which you may know her from DBZ and Attack on Titan Abridged, she plays Chi-Chi and Mikasa, respectively.
God, don't make this gay, Pedro.
I'm not into guys with vaginas.
Apparently you're not into women with vaginas either.
Buck Angel. Yeah.
But
I get that she's purposefully making Fidget sound annoying, but purposefully annoying is still annoying.
If you listen really closely, it's the same voice that she uses for Chaozu on DBZ Bridge too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is where I just had the big old fuck you, Pedro, for bringing that up, because now it's a Pokemon Vegeta.
It's a Pokemon Vegeta.
So,
you self-destruct.
where are we at, J-Man?
Pedro needs to give it a chair rating.
He already did.
I did.
Did you? 3 chairs. All right, so that's 3 chairs for Shiny and Sound, so that's pretty good. Moving on to our control section. Ven, I know you're a bit hammered right now, but did you feel like you were in control?
Terribly hammered. Terribly. Yeah, I barely can think. X-Clone controller, man. I mean, seriously, it makes me think that for some strange, bizarre moon reason, this game was designed for an Xbox controller. I don't know why. It's just a pressing thing in the back of my brain organ. When it comes down to control, they're absolutely tight. I did enjoy them. Work with some, thumbsticks. Sit back experience. Basically, it's a lot of XY, XY, XY. You're not really giving it a full workout. The menus are logically laid out with the little lefty-righty control buttons. I at first wanted and was like, I could do this with a wireless dribble and keyboard. And I was like, no, this actually it's workable. So, control. Absolutely, if you have an X-Clone controller or PS whatnots or the Logitech FX series, I'm just going to give this a 4 chairs. Out of the box, J-Man.
Yeah, this game is button mashing. You mash B and you mash Y and you mash X and you mash A, and crazy stuff happens, and there are whirlwinds and fireballs and blizzards and all sorts of wacky crap. And then a bunch of people explode and you get money. So that's certainly a thing. Yeah, there isn't really much rhyme or reason to the controls once you actually use them in practice. It's just spinny thing, / spinny thing, spell, spinny thing, and so on. I do find that I end up air dashing quite a bit because it's the most effective way to do damage and not get hit. But yeah, I'll give this 3 chairs for control. It works pretty well.
Ven said that it felt like it was meant for the X-Clone controller. It felt like it was meant for this one too, because everything worked out of the box. The layout was sensible. It's exactly the same as the X-Bone controller for once. Go SDL2. And it's the first non-wine game to make it rumble. 4 chairs.
That got you excited, didn't it?
Oh yeah.
Then you were
Why was in his pants
like,
half the time?
It's
Didn't he?
vibrating.
Repeatedly.
You got those Snapchats.
Oh yeah. I really wish I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
But anyways, that's 3 chairs for control. Now for our final subjective category, fun. So, then, did you have fun?
I will give this an asteroid because I'm going to give this 4 chairs, and I'll put that up there in just a moment after I get done saying this. The reason I'm using an asteroid for this, an asterisk or whatever her name is if you're looking for a sit-back, button-mashing platform experience, this is a brilliant game. Not a whole lot of strategy involved. The world-building thing, that once you realize that enemies in the sky are called roads,
Yeah.
how to fuck with a game, because there was more than once where I was in a place where I was not where I was supposed to be, and I take 3 steps and the game's like, oh, we need enemies, and I was like, what the hell? And everybody landed around me. That's brilliant. I mean, it's kind of mindless, not much to a story. You pretty much figure out what the story is going to go in the first 45 minutes, so not a whole lot to that. Strategy, no, you can instantly become overpowered in the first hour, and you're just curb stomping everything left and right, trying to look good doing it. You realize how overpowered you are when you see 30 enemies, and your first thoughts, okay, jump in the middle of them, so I can
get the most.
Right, exactly. So for that. If you're looking for something that requires like strategy, planning, and all that, maybe a 3-chair. But if you're just looking for sit back, chill out, fun, definitely 4 chairs on that. So that is what I'm giving it.
With an asteroid.
Asterisks.
Asterisk?
You don't have a picture of that queued up. You have it in the show notes, though. It took me a second to recognize her, too. Anyways, subjective category. So this is a fun little side-scrolling beat-em-up with a sort of level design kind of reminiscent of Metroid, where you sort of wander around and fight stuff and wander back and fight more stuff.
Oh, the map.
The map. Yeah, that's certainly something.
Yeah, about 2 hours in, you realize, I better start using this.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I've been here already. Where am I? Who am I? No, like I said, it's a fun side-scrolling beat-em-up. The art style may be off-putting for some, but if you can look past that, the core gameplay is actually really, really fun. It's an addictive little thing, I'll give it that. I will say the rumbling constantly gets kind of annoying. It's just like, oh, why are you doing this? There's stuff around me, or I don't know what.
You weren't around for the PS2 era, were you?
Oh, I was. But I don't even recall that much rumbling. That might just be rose-tinted glasses, though. But, like I said, the combat strategy gets a bit weak at times because you just do air dash, air dash, air dash, air dash, spell, air dash, air dash, air dash, air dash, and then everything's dead. After, you just have to be patient and then everything dies. Or if it's just like the one-hit mooks, you just clear them out in 1 or 2 hits. But, like I said, fun side-scrolling beat 'em up, would play again, 3 chairs.
All right.
Andrew.
For what it is, it's a stupidly fun game. And if I had to point out one flaw, I guess it's the exact same flaw that its Metroidvania roots had. Yeah. It's the incessant amount of backtracking you have to do in order to progress.
You mean Castlevania 2?
I think you're thinking of Castlevania 2. Simon's Quest.
Yeah, Castlevania 2 and the later Metroids 2. Yeah, there was a lot of backtracking and... Okay, I get it. They're trying to squeeze a couple of more hours into the game, but come on. Every time you unlock a new ability, something that allows you to get to somewhere you wouldn't be able to get to before, guess what? Go to the map, go through every other place you've been through.
Well, P-Man, I'm sure you, like many other people, when you saw it, was like, how the fuck do I slide?
Yeah. Yeah, you have to unlock sliding.
But I mean, like, you can't really do anything until you unlock those abilities at the beginning of the game.
No, you just see a lot of places that you realize that you're going to be going back to.
Yeah, a lot of them. And it's really my one gripe with this game. It's the amount of backtracking you have to do. 3 chairs.
So with that comes to 3 chairs total for the fun category. And now to total it all up, drum roll please.
Beep. Beep, beep, doop, beep, 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 boop, beep.
3 chairs!
3 chairs, and...
3 chairs, and if you go to our chair explanation, 3 chairs is check it out. Definitely check this game out. It is worth your money.
Right now, it is absolutely priced to sell, even outside of the Humbly Boondly, which was available for... Yeah.
You can pick it up, like I said, you can pick it up for 50% off until January 2nd. So if you're watching this live, and you should be watching this live.
Just one pro tip. You know there's fanfic about this furry stuff, especially about this game? Don't search for it. Just don't.
Yeah, really don't.
Whoa.
I mean, why? You don't want to see what happens to Fidget? But anyways.
Coming up next,
we would have hate mail, but we didn't get any. Shock and awe. So, coming up next, 2014 predictions and other fun stuff.
In the future's past. Now it's time for hate. No, I'm just playing with you. being the holiday season and all that, we didn't get a proper amount of hate mail for this week, so we're going to do something even more boring. Our 2014
Sweet.
predictions for this year. We have just 2 categories, a regular prediction and a crazy-ass prediction of what's going to be what's what in Linux gaming for 2014. So we're going to start out with P-Man. What's your regular prediction?
Okay, so my regular prediction is, I assume you guys read the Linux_gaming that Deadfall Adventures is going into Linux beta either next week or the one after that. So, and I had a look at the game. I found a friend of mine right here that owns the game, and I played around it for a bit. And basically, my feelings with that game coming to Linux is that it's going to lead the charge for high-budget games who are not good enough to get an aggregated score of over 70 in Metacritic. And I'm not too happy about that. But XCOM Enemy Unknown is still coming, and that I want to play, that I want to see what the reaction will be of the current Linux gamers. I hate that term. But yeah, that's my regular prediction.
That's awesome, man. It's going to be fun next year when we look and see what actually goes down. My regular prediction is Carmageddon Reincarnation is going to go full metal Duke Nukem forever before it got released. I honestly believe the studio developing it is going to run out of money before we actually ever see anything.
No, they're just going to run another Kickstarter.
No, Stainless can't run out of money at this point because of the Magic the Gathering things.
Yeah, well, let's see about this. These people managed to nope out of the gaming industry once. They have experience. They have that on us. They know what they're doing when it comes to
more than one game.
Bankrupting themselves with just one title. So, but even if we do actually get to see a Carmageddon Reincarnation port, I'm going to guess that we may never see a Linux port a la Skullgirls. J-Man.
My regular prediction is, despite what we're all saying and despite what we're all hoping, Steambox is really just going to be a moderate success. They have to compete with the large amount of goodwill that Sony and Microsoft have in the console space. And really, Steambox is an interesting experiment. A few AAA titles will probably find their way onto Linux, or rather SteamOS, as they're marketing it now. But for the most part, it's more or less going to be a repeat at 2013 in terms of some games will make it to Linux, other games will not, and we'll get the occasional Metro, and that's about it. What about crazy-ass predictions?
The problem, wait. Well, the problem with the Steam box is Valve said that they don't do exclusives. Like, we've mused about the fact that Half-Life 3 being released as a Linux exclusive for like the first 2 weeks, but Valve themselves said no. We don't want exclusives.
I think that is going to hurt their platform just because.
Yeah,
they're not going to really have any
drive
staying power.
The nail into the coffin.
A lot of it is just going to be people who are curious, people who have been into PC gaming and just want a living room experience, and maybe their friends who they'll be able to convince.
Yeah,
but I mean, at the same time, if we see a large influx of games that are available on SteamOS, that it's like, oh, hey, and I don't have to buy them again once the new console comes out. Some people may switch camps, but that we'll have to wait and see. We're also going to have to see if SteamOS doesn't turn out to just be meh Debian and actually has some cool tech.
Okay, let's do some crazy-ass predictions.
Crazy-ass predictions.
Okay, so my crazy-ass prediction is, because I'm the eternal optimist and I fucking love it, DayZ. Dean Rocket Hall said that he would like to port Daisy to Linux, but currently his team, he doesn't have anyone qualified to do it. And since the game is probably going to be for a long time in development, the Linux port won't be coming anytime soon, but hopefully, I want Daisy in the Linux.
Well, my crazy-ass prediction is not a cheery one. I predict that Valve will eventually close down this Steambox experiment. Now, I'm not saying that they'll get rid of, Linux support because, they kept Mac support. I just genuinely do not believe Valve wants to be in the hardware business. And I do not believe that in 2014 we will see an official Steambox, not the beta systems, but an official, something that you can buy from Steam or Amazon or whatever, directly from them, that it'll ever ship.
Wait, wasn't that what Valve already said, though? That they weren't going to be manufacturing the boxes themselves? Those were going to be done by third-party OEMs?
Valve basically said we're putting out 300 prototypes to collect data on people, and we'll fucking see.
Yeah, but they said that they weren't, even when they first announced it, before they even released the specs, that they weren't going to be manufacturing them. They were just doing these 300 to see the gauge interest and see how people use them and all that. Collect data.
That's what Ben just said.
Yeah, but they're not going to be manufacturing them, the actual Steam boxes, because there aren't going to be any actual Steam boxes.
Well, to be a certified Steam box, I'm sure you'd have to get the aerial controller.
Yeah. I'm sure Valve is going to be sticking official Steam box labels on various machines that companies push out.
Yeah,
and
if they get
Pedro, this might shock you, and it does shock a lot of people. Actually, I had somebody who is kind of off topic but on topic. I was talking to the person the other day, and said, "Oh, what type of tablet do you have?" And I was like, "Well, this is a Google Nexus 10." And I was like, "Oh, so that's one of those Chinese tablets," and they had an iPad. I didn't even want to touch that reality distortion field.
So you mean a Chinese tablet?
You get what I'm saying? Do you understand the metaphor there, Pedro?
Yeah, I get it.
Everything's a Chinese tablet, guy.
Yeah. But again, let's call the Steam boxes for what they are. Living room PCs with shiny cases.
And I mean, really, that's what the current generation of consoles are. Living room PCs with shiny cases and built-in cameras that monitor your every move and check to see if you're swearing too much and will kick you out of games if you swear too much.
Penis.
Yep.
Penis. J-Man, what do you got?
I'm gonna say, for a crazy-ass prediction, mid-recording, we are all going to be struck simultaneously by 3 distinct meteors. And after that, Bethesda will get their heads out of their asses and have their CEOs replaced by replicants or Cylons or whatever. And we're gonna see an open source Cylons take over Bethesda and we get open Skyrim.
Yeah, they can't open source Skyrim.
That's my crazy-ass prediction.
They can't.
All of this has happened before, and all of it will happen again, Pedro.
Hey,
the Cylons were built by man.
Fallout 4 is going to be based on the same engine as Skyrim, the Gamebryo. So they can't open source it right now.
Shh. This is crazy-ass predictions. Again, we're talking about a hypothetical reality in which the upper management of Bethesda gets replaced by Cylons.
Even then.
And the team behind Open Morrowind.
Who are also Cylons, by the way. That's how they've been able to do it so far.
But those are already Cylons. So
at the end of the day, I mean, it sounds about right. It'll be interesting to go back. I mean, don't think anyone's joking around. I guess one last thing. Who wants to take the under and over on Half-Life 3?
That's not a bet I'm willing to make because Gabe, this is gonna be like the one episode Gabe watches. It's gonna be like, oh, these guys got it right. Next year, then.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
at this
take that
point, and even if he does release it, it's not going to live up to the hype, and people are going to be angry. That's exactly why.
You see, that's where
he's
you're
not going
wrong,
to.
Pedro, because everyone said that about Half-Life 2.
And then everyone fucking loved Half-Life 2.
Yeah, but everyone also said that about Duke Nukem Forever, and everyone was right.
Well, to be fair,
yeah.
Duke Nukem Forever kind of was in development hell for a while. Half-Life isn't in development hell. It's just it's
being
coming.
developed.
Trust me. It's gonna be riding on a giant horse with a big floppy dick. It's coming.
Well, if it comes out the
It will
same hype
melt your
that
face.
Half-Life
I
2
mean, come
Yeah,
on.
no.
What is it? 2013, almost
It's
2014.
literally gonna have like Oculus Rift support, and they're gonna configure the Oculus Rift to blow up and literally melt people's faces off.
Okay. Extra add-ins for predictions. Oculus Rift will never be a thing. I mean, people don't want to wear shit on their heads. Never have.
Yeah.
Never will.
There are already articles coming up that the Oculus Rift is not as good as the hype is making it out to be.
Also, really VR. We tried that with Virtual Boy. We tried that with
Virtual Boy?
Virtual Boy.
The epilepsy machine?
Yes. Seizure Simulator
Let's
2000.
look at all the colors in red. Virtual.
Red.
Virtual with a
Red.
tripod.
Can you say
because why not? No, but I mean, really, VR isn't. I don't think that's the way gaming is gonna go. But you know what? We'll see. You never know. So I guess that about wraps up LGC Weekly episode 71.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, how do we end this? I mean, we don't really need to make it with a whoring since it's a special time. And we'll be back in full force next week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Assuming no asteroids hit.
No. Pedro Death Clock. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Brain aneurysm.
No.
Cancer.
Come on, brain aneurysm.
No.
And 3, 2, 1.
Thud.